Hello, this is Andrew Schwartz, and I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to check out this presentation on implementing a simple incentive bonus system for your practice. I hope you'll find this information to be helpful to you as a practicing doctor. My first question is, are you a doctorpreneur? Doctors help their patients with some aspect of their health. Entrepreneurs run businesses trying to maximize the long-term profitability of that business. Whether you own a practice, work at someone else's practice, or work at a hospital, you need to remember that every healthcare office is a small business that needs to be managed as a small business. Nothing that happens in your office should happen by accident. If any aspect of the practice isn't the absolute best that it can be, you should have a plan in place to address and improve that part of the practice. Once again, my name is Andrew Schwartz. I'm partners with my brother Rick Schwartz in the CPA firm of Schwartz & Schwartz, based just outside of Boston. And yes, I consider myself an accountantpreneur. I am running a business that happens to provide accounting and tax services. One recommendation we routinely make to our practice owner clients is to implement a simple incentive bonus system. For short, we call this SIBS. For a bonus system to work, it needs to be easy to understand, attainable but not automatic, and something that the staff members feel that they can impact. As an example, SIBS works well with dentists. Most dental practices are staffed by a relatively small team that needs to work well together for the practice to routinely hit its goals. There's a front desk person that fills the doctors and the hygienist schedules and collects money from the patients. There's a hygienist who validates treatment planning, and they can also provide additional services which adds top-line revenue. And then there's the assistants, which help improve patient flow efficiency. Implementing SIBS is pretty easy. Simply figure out your annual goal, divide that figure by 12, and that's the monthly goal. Obviously, this will only work if the annual goal doesn't have seasonal fluctuations. If your practice hits the goal that month, give each team member a $100 bonus. If you hit 110% of that goal, increase the bonus to $200 or $250. Don't worry about sharing the practice's financial information with the staff. If the goal you set is based on monthly collections, make sure to remind your staff that even though the monthly collection goal seems high, the practice overhead is high as well. Remember, there are staff expenses, rent, lab fees, dental supplies, debt payments, equipment to buy and maintain, and all sorts of other costs, and then you need to add on your salary. And make sure to routinely adjust the goal. A good time to adjust the goal is at the time you hand out raises. Here is an example of SIBS. Let's say that you set your annual collection goal at $900,000, so the monthly goal is $75,000. You have a meeting and explain that any month the practice collects $75,000, everyone gets a $100 bonus. And if you collect 110% of that goal, or $82,500, each team member gets $250. You then remind your staff that while the monthly collection seems high, you have a ton of expenses to pay each month, and after paying all those expenses and your salary, there is not a lot of money left over. Trust me, after a few times of telling your staff this spiel, they'll start saying it to you first whenever you bring up the monthly collections goal. That's what happens at my office. There are things you can do to make SIBS even more effective. For starters, don't lump the bonus check in with the regular payroll that gets directly deposited into the staff person's bank account. Instead, issue a printed or handwritten check for the bonus and personally hand this check to each employee. At that time, thank each team member for their hard work in helping the practice achieve the goal. How powerful a statement is it if you personally hand each staff member the bonus check and thank them for the work that they did last month? Now, just as an aside, this bonus check is taxable compensation to your staff, so you do need to call in the bonus check to the payroll company that you use. Just as with everything else, there are a few pitfalls of SIBS to be aware of. For starters, the bonus plan can lose its luster over time, so keep it fresh by changing the focus of the bonus over time. Maybe switch from monthly collections to new patients brought in to recare efficiency, and then go back to collections maybe at a higher number. Also, make sure that your goals within the SIBS is always tied in with the practice goals. You also need to be careful that your staff doesn't game the system. I saw this at one client where the front desk person stopped depositing checks each month once the maximum goal was met and held those checks to deposit the following month. Make sure to tell your staff that the bonus plan will end immediately if anyone pulls a stunt like this. We've had a lot of clients implement SIBS, and they often see an immediate increase in collections for their practice. Hopefully you'll realize similar results. If you have any questions or comments about this presentation or have ideas for other presentations, please let us know. You can call my office at 800-471-0045, or you can email me at andrew@schwartzaccountants.com. Thanks again for taking the time to check out this presentation today, and I hope you found this information helpful and insightful.